said I like to talk into it. We rolling?
Rolling.
Episode 12, Brad Muse, my buddy. Don't take this thing too seriously because you know me, I'm not too serious.
I understand completely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know if you put any thought into this. You didn't have to because I have all the questions.
I didn't whatsoever.
I only have one question.
I actually almost forgot about it. But
Your question?
No, I almost forgot about coming over here, but didn't.
Well, I know, and I was nervous because I have to post tomorrow. And if you bombed on me, I didn't know what I was going to do.
Well, I had an interesting day today. I spent in a very interesting location where I was today. You'd never guess.
You going to tell me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rockhaven Nudist Resort today.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you go do that just for this podcast? Do you have something to talk about?
No, but I was really been in Rockhaven Nudist Colony for about 3 hours today.
Where is that? Is that in Tennessee?
Yeah, it's off Brayville Pike here in Murfreesboro.
You was in a nudist colony here.
For about 3 hours today.
What was you trying to sell?
No, no, definitely not. A fellow had passed away, and his wife, they had to sell a lot of his personal belongings, and
yeah,
that's not the greatest place to have an auction is the Rockhaven Nudist Colony. So they made us take the stuff out today, and we're going to have it at a different location at a different time.
Okay, so people understand you're a realtor, auctioneer.
Yeah, auctioneer, realtor.
Yeah, auctioneering first.
Auctioneering
that's
first.
Your favorite.
That's my favorite.
Well, that's what you have fun
That's
with.
my day job.
Well, I guess the only question I have is, how'd you get so damn rich? Was it auctioneering
Yeah,
or
right.
Real estate?
No, first of all, I'm not rich. I wish I was. I wish I had a great story to tell you how I got rich. I'm definitely not rich. I have done well over the last few years, though, but I'm not rich, man, that's for sure.
Well, you're rich in other ways.
Rich in other ways.
You're one of the happiest people I know.
I try to stay happy, that's for sure.
Well, I think that's what I was thinking about is I get stressed out and overwhelmed, and you seem to just keep trucking along. And I think that's why you didn't go and you're part of a team. You know, you didn't go out and try to make your own damn team. You made a team inside of a team, and
right.
You got a lot of support around you.
A lot of support. It takes a lot of support for what I do. It takes a lot of support. I mean, with Betsy and my wife and Nikki helps me now. Nikki Baxter, she helps me.
Do you have to pay all of them?
Yeah, well, no. Yes, I do. Yeah, that's a good, yeah.
Well, you do pay. You're not stingy. You've always shared.
I do pay. I do pay them, and it takes a team to make all this go around. It sure does. These auctions get complicated sometimes, and it takes I couldn't do it by myself. It takes a lot of help.
Well,
I've been involved. You guys have helped me a lot.
Well, you've helped us. That's what we was talking about tonight. We were thinking all this started. This podcast indirectly exists. It all started with you.
Well,
did you know that?
No, not really. But I knew that we started videos, several years back now. I remember like it was yesterday. You say, "Brad, let's do a video. Brad, let's do a video."
Let me tell you. So I'm at Nissan. Right. I was making home videos. I barely had any gear, and making home videos is one thing, but then thinking, golly, I can do this. Everybody kept saying, you should do this for a living. I thought, well, how do you get into making videos for money?
Right.
And I was thinking about you. I was thinking, man, I need to do something for Brad Muse. He'd be the perfect guy. I never dreamt which way you would take it. I had no idea. You didn't get it either. You had no idea either. I
wasn't for it. I wasn't.
I know you was 100% against it.
I wasn't. I didn't think it'd do anything.
I just wanted to make a video.
I know, and then finally I said, you know what? I'm going to call Nathan.
I was on the roof of Nissan.
I finally had one piece of property. Remember, it was the lake property, the little peninsula island. And I said, this is video worthy. I don't know what we're going to do, but it's video worthy. I knew that, and that was
Center Hill Lake.
Center Hill Lake. That's kind of where it all started. I mean, and actually, the first video, probably the best one we've done still. Hell, I didn't even know I was making a video. You did such a great job with the camera. I mean, I don't think any of us knew what we were doing. We didn't know what you were filming.
Yeah.
I mean, we just kind of basically hung out at the lake and did a little skit role playing, but nothing too much. But
well, to back up, I made that video, and I think you were surprised. Like, holy shit. Oh, this is, and I was surprised too. Trust me, I had no idea what I was getting. I come out there, and it's a wooded piece of property. I just bought a drone. I was so nervous about flying it out of that treetop.
Right.
I had no idea what I was doing. I had a goal to make a video. I had no clue what it was going to look like, but I wanted to practice. I was trying to just practice. I just wanted to make videos. I'd see things, and I'd try to emulate that. And so I made this video, and you liked it. Holy shit, let's do something else. On that same piece of property, you wanted to promote it. Mm. And you had the vision of Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, I thought of Gilligan's Island, but I had no way of shooting it or didn't know what it was going to do. I just thought we'd go have a good time at the lake.
So we talked about it. We had some random ideas. You were going to rent a boat, get all your buddies. You had there was a lot of people. Every character in Gilligan's Island was there.
Yes.
Everybody dressed up.
Howls right there.
Let me tell you how nervous I was. I was telling them, I've shot videos now that has millions of views.
Right.
And what I do is just astronomically bigger. It don't make me nervous at all. That day, thinking about you renting a boat, I didn't even know what to charge you. I didn't even know how to charge you. You just
and I didn't know what you was going to charge me.
I think it was $250. Is what it wound up being.
It was very cheap.
But I didn't know if I could make anything.
Right.
I had no clue. You have everybody dressed up, and I start to feel the panic. I'm like, oh shit. He has invested a lot of time. All these people are off work. 1 sec. Can we turn that heat off? Holy shit! How's it on? Heat on.
You stopped, Dakota?
No, we're still going. We're good.
Oh, I think the downstairs heater. That's upstairs heater. No, it just keeps rolling.
Yeah.
Oh, but you just edit this out with.
No, just fast forward.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, I guess we could edit it. Where was that? Okay. I have to do that every now and then. Usually dogs are barking and it distracts me. But, so I remember being super nervous because of all the effort you put into it. And I knew the overall goal was make a video. I had no clue what the video was going to be about. Obviously, Gilligan's Island. But I just basically was getting shots.
Right.
And we staged one thing, which was you guys paddling up to the beach.
Yep.
And that was ultimately it in the very end.
And that's it. We paddled to the beach, and then me and Joe fell back in the water like the scene from Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
That the skipper and Gilligan do themselves on the show.
I think that's the important part about it. Everybody overthinks and worries.
Mm-hmm.
What's it going to look like? What's it going to be? You know, people don't follow through on things because they overthink it.
Exactly.
Right? And I think the secret is to have a goal and just see how you get there. You don't know how you're going to get there. And so everything we've done, and we've got a list of things that I look back on and I think, holy shit, that's good.
Right.
But that's how we did it. We just winged it, and it was incredible. And it was so good for my career because I learned so much. I learned to overcome. Just fuck it, just go do it and see what happens. Yeah. And then in editing, and you can just put it together. Anyways, it kind of blew me away when I seen the end product. I was like, holy shit!
I couldn't wait to.
You guys were.
We couldn't wait to do another one. I mean, as soon as you got that one done, we saw the finished product. We was like, wow,
yeah,
this is something. I think back then, with all the social medias, Facebook and. Well, we weren't even on Instagram back then or anything. It was on Facebook.
Yep.
Like 30,000 views. I mean,
and that was a lot of local stuff. Yeah, just people locally surprised.
This will work. And then
to this day, I've never seen anything like it.
But I know I haven't either, and I don't think we've done. I mean, we've done some good videos. We've probably topped it because we've always talked about we don't want to do a video that wasn't as least good as our last one.
Yeah,
we've always kind of talked about that. I hate to put something. That's why I've been down. I guess a few years now, a couple of years, maybe a year and a half. I mean, I think Mirthful Outdoors was the last one. Yep. I think that was in 18. Mm-hmm.
But we just do the best we can with what we got to work with.
And that's the problem. What I've been doing is overthinking these things. I find myself sitting home at night thinking about, well, we should do a video like this. We should do this. Let me plan this video out. Let me write a movie. And instead of like we used to in old days, just grab the camera and get out on the street and see what we come up with.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I even
kind of one small idea and turn it into something that's really big. But it's just I've overthought it, and I think I'm still doing it. I think we need to grab a camera and get the street.
It's weird now. We'll jump into people can't even hire me anymore. Like, I won't even do things anymore.
Right.
It's just insane. I want to do things for free.
Right.
For fun. Does that make sense? I remember...
A little.
Well, I mean, I got to where I charge so much now.
Right.
It's outrageous, but it's for companies. It's hard to do for the individual.
Yeah.
And I can't charge those prices anymore, for this. But I hate what I'm doing.
Right.
It's boring. It sucks, I love the opportunities it gives me. It's amazing. So I don't want to complain about it. And I always sound like I'm complaining. But, man, the good old days was doing it damn near for free. I was just charging to say I was charging. I was trying to figure out what it was worth. Exactly. Nobody knew. I don't think anyone's ever done what we've done. I've never seen it before. I've never seen it since.
Not the sense that we've done it. I mean, that people sometimes take their own phone and film themselves.
Yeah, well, people are always making real estate videos.
Yeah, but not like we've done it, movie type.
You always did it for properties that were hard to sell. You know what I mean? Not all of them, maybe, but, difficult things. You were like, okay, we need something a little extra for this.
Or I told a story. A lot of times the land itself told our story. You know, that was that kind of helped with the idea of different videos, is having something. You know, it's hard to have a video when you got a house in a subdivision that looks like everybody else in a subdivision, but you have a piece of property out here and it's unique and it has a river running through it or has a lake. You know, then you can make a video about it. It's worth a video, but you know, it's just you have the right piece of property to make the right videos with. I think they lend hand in hand to each other about what you should and shouldn't do.
Yeah, and I think people would look at that and say, do you really think that video helped sell that house or that farm? No. I didn't even care. I was trying to sell you.
It did sell me. That's what we were. That's what we were trying.
And
to
it may
do.
have. I think it did. I think sometimes they did both. But I think ultimately it was to. This is what I say. You know, and I don't want to take anything. I don't want to go too much into real estate. But I thought a lot about it. Like, if it's priced right, it'll sell. You put it out there, it'll sell.
Especially
in
today's market.
If it's priced right.
Right now, today's market.
But the effort that you put in. Is that my phone? Your phone?
No, my phone's.
Is your phone going off? Who's that? Mine? Good grief. It was mine. Sorry about that. The effort that you put in was an indication of how hard you're going to work for your client. Right. And you would do some silly shit. You wanted to be an elf on a shelf, and I didn't know how to do that. So you became an elf on a cliff, and we pulled it off.
That was another property that lent itself to a video. That big, beautiful cliff there.
Yeah.
I got that. Remember the Japanese soak tub I got down there?
The Japanese soak tub, yeah. You know how many times you came down those steps? So this guy, I bet you... So doing this is hard. I mean, it's hard. When you're on camera, you got that big ass camera. It's intimidating to be in front of it.
Yes.
And your mind, you know, and we don't script anything.
No, that's the thing.
We just wing it and see what we get, which is why they were all so funny. Right. You in the pool and that big ass bird or a bull or whatever, the parrot.
Yeah, I kicked.
Yeah, and like I think the magic was all the mistakes you would make.
Right.
You didn't mind me using them,
no.
And those are what made it funny, you know. Funny. And so I learned a craft accidentally by exposing all your mistakes, and that's what made it funny and fun. And oh my God, it was so much fun to do. I wished we could have figured out a way to just build a production company around you. That would have been awesome.
Fun. It was a lot of fun. I mean, it wasn't like work at all. It was fun shooting them. It was just fun, all us being together. You know, we ate. Usually, I tried to provide everybody a good meal when we did it and stuff.
I know they were good because so many people volunteered. So many people wanted to be a part of it.
And I was thinking, find cast members, did we?
Like some of the videos were big. Right. You got to understand, it was all weighing on me.
Right.
And did I look like I know what I was doing?
You look perfect. You look like a pro, like you've been doing it for 20 years.
If you knew how I felt up until I walked up and hit record, the anxiety. I just wouldn't feed it, man. I had to do a lot of breathing, a lot of breathing exercises. But I knew I'd just figure it out. Just like you, just like we all do. This is how we do it. I don't know. We'll just figure it out.
That's the only way I've ever been able to do anything. Just figure it out.
Probably why you've been so damn successful. I think me too.
That's what I think successful people figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, this is a podcast, so half the people can't see it because they're listening.
Right.
The other half, I don't want to show it. I don't want to show the videos. But if you want to see them, how could they see them? How would they search for some of these videos? They
can go to my name on YouTube.
Brad Muse?
Brad Muse at YouTube.
You got it up there? Yeah. Man, I'm going to tell you, it's worth your while to see what somebody... I think if it don't care what business you have, it doesn't matter. If you're trying to promote something, there's no better way than to make videos, in my opinion. And, man, I think it'd be worth your while to go watch them because the effort that went into them... Actually, it was a lot of effort, but we'd do them in a few hours a day. Rocky Balboa... So you wanted to be Rocky Balboa.
Right.
You wanted to train for the auction season. And what'd you call me at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning? It's snowing. Or did we? I don't know.
We found out it was snowing and we loved it. We said that's good. You know, it's a prop in itself. We didn't have to do anything.
We went all over Murfreesboro, filming you,
all over the gym,
running,
drone shots of the bridge over Broad Street.
Yeah, it was. So a buddy of mine seen it today because I was telling my buddy Adam McCook. He's on here several times. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "My buddy Brad Muse is going to be on." He's the guy that did all the crazy videos. And he didn't know. He didn't know anything about it. And I was like, oh. So he looked you up, and he was blown away. Yeah. He could not believe the effort and the quality. And I can't either. I look back and say, this doesn't seem normal. You'd think tens of thousands of dollars would have been invested in some of these projects.
I do the same thing. I look back all the time. I mean, I look back at them all. Just the other day, I was looking back at one like, hey, gum, we did that in a day, and maybe a day.
Yeah.
And no real script, just kind of get out and do it. And
well, I mean, I too take me. I'll say it was my wife and I, and you and your wife. We'd set up and you guys were always brainstorming. Like, that's what
Always.
y'all do.
And
Y'all still do that, by the way.
We still do it.
Really?
We always brainstorm.
You still got ideas? You're
Yeah,
right.
we
See,
brainstormed
that's
last
what I'm
night.
missing.
We were brainstorming last night about bringing the elf back. We was talking about, should I bring the elf back?
I think.
I had a plan. You know, I was trying, my whole deal, I don't give away too much if we do shoot the video, was at first I was going to figure out how to get the elf back for Christmas with the COVID and all the stuff going on. But then I thought, no, it might be funnier to have Santa stuck at the North Pole. How's he going to get back with all the mask stuff and different things this year? So
Yeah.
I don't know. But we've been.
But isn't
playing-
that part of the fun, just dreaming it up?
Yeah.
And I mean, half the shit we've talked about, we never did.
I literally have books of material I've written down. We've written down over the years, over the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, literally spiral notebooks of. I bet I have 15 or 20 books of different ideas of what could be videos. Some are videos, some are songs. But I think my wife, she likes to keep a record of what we're talking about, feeling it, how we're doing. And it's just amazing. I mean, I think she'll keep them, probably give them to our kids
That's
for
really
a long
cool.
time now. But we have books of ideas.
And a handful of them made it through.
Handful
I don't
of
think you should stop. I mean, you don't need me. I think I wouldn't have been as good as I am now if it wasn't for the opportunities that you gave me.
Right.
The investment that I made in you. But I did it not only to help you, but to help my own, to kind of master my own craft. I mean, golly, look at what I do now.
Right.
Can you believe it?
I can't believe it.
Standing
Yeah.
on the roof of Nissan,
No,
I
that's-
call you up and
that's
say, let's
awesome.
do a video. And I think you actually thought I was crazy.
Right.
Now, I never dreamt of the videos that we ended up doing, but I just thought a cool real estate video. And, man, this is what I do for a living now.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Man.
And now I'm trying to figure out how to not make videos like myself. I'm trying to figure out how to expand it
Right.
and include more people. I'm doing that. I mean, it's all working out. But
Right.
anyway, yeah, I guess that's just what I wanted to start with. I don't know about my second one. Did I have a second topic? Would you have anything in mind? Maybe I want to hear more about this nudist colony. Can we make a video out of that legally?
No,
Would it be a lot of blurring?
That's something else. It'd be a lot. Well, not this time of year. I found out that you're safe this time of year. You're not so safe in August.
Yeah.
But this time of year, it's safe.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I took some guys out with me today, and we loaded the things that we needed loaded up and got out of there
Yeah.
pretty quick. But it's definitely a nudist. Back in August, me and the attorney went out, and I joked with him. I said, "Take your shirt off, Mark." He said, "No way."
Yeah.
And we looked, and sure enough, I mean, there a few are playing tennis. There's a few shooting basketball. The funniest thing, and I teach it so. I don't. If they want to be nude, I'm perfectly.
But we get
happy.
to
I'm
we
perfectly happy.
get to make fun of it, and laugh at it.
Yeah, but I just, but to each their own. I don't judge them, but it was just funny because there's these two gentlemen there, and there was two nice slide out motorhomes. I'm not talking about the cheap ones. I'm talking about the $200,000 or $300,000 big nice motorhomes. And they're over there and they're working on a generator and they're just wrenching on it like me and you would be wrenching on, like you'd be wrenching on a Jeep. And they're both just totally nude. And I'm like, dudes, why? I mean,
They didn't have shoes on.
Nothing. I mean, they had flip flops. Flip flops, and one guy had a red bandana on. And I'm like, dude, I mean, your hands are greasy. You're working on I don't get the whole that, but it's not for me to get.
And they're probably we're making fun of them. They probably make fun of us.
Look, them dumbasses with clothes. And what's funny? By the end of that day, we left. The attorney had to inventory a lot of stuff, and by that afternoon, it was getting close to 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, and the pool was starting to get crowded. And I thought, you know what? Maybe these people are right.
Really?
Yeah.
The pool?
They have a pavilion out there.
Is it heated?
No, I'm talking about back in August.
Oh, okay. Oh, you've been going out there for a while.
Yeah, so we had to, I've been
Oh,
working
so
at
you
the
have
state.
been out there during the summer?
Yes.
Okay,
That's what I'm
so you've
saying.
seen a
I've
lot.
seen it all.
Okay, I was imagining two dudes out there today.
No,
freezing
I've
their
seen
ass
all.
off.
No, I'm talking about the two dudes were working on, this was back in August, which is fine. But, I mean, the pool started getting crowded because the cabin we were getting the property out of was right next to the pool. Mm-hmm. So I'm just sitting there looking over at the pool thinking, well, maybe they're right.
Yeah.
They're all having to look like a good time. It's Friday afternoon.
Well, I wish I was that free. Hell, I worry about every damn thing.
I do too. But I thought maybe we worry about too damn much.
I think we do.
But it was that's the thing I like about this business is it's never a dull moment in my life. I guess because it's always a different, even though it's an auction, even though it seems like the same. They're all different. I mean,
And you still have fun.
I'll have a great time. I mean,
See,
I would do this. No, I want a lot of people to hear this, but I would do this for free.
Yeah.
You know, man, if I could auction
Yeah.
for free, I would. I mean, I love it. I mean, you know, it's a lot of emotion. I deal with a lot of emotion on a daily basis. Most of the time, if I have an auction, that somebody's passed away because I handle a lot of estate auctions. So I try to make it light on them as I can because I know it's a stressful time, you know, in their life. You know, they've lost a loved one, or they've lost grandparents, or they've lost a mom and dad, and so you can still have fun and be light with it, but also be courteous to them too, and not overdo it. So it's just try to make them feel better. They're already stressed out enough, just to try to lighten the scene a little bit. And that's what I really enjoy about I like the people.
Well, and you're a people person,
Right? And I do that's what I like the most is dealing with the people. Like, you know, Lady today, you know, it was a sad story, but I tried to, you know, just lighten the load with her today. That's kind of what I do. I just kind of keep the even keel with people, make sure people stay calm and, you know, don't get so stressed out.
Golly, because who wants to think about selling something and auctioning something? Oh my God,
After you just lost a loved one.
yeah. What do I do with all this stuff? That'd
Right.
be, yeah. I see the benefit of it. I mean, I think you provide a very valuable service,
Right.
and it's for your community. That's what's really cool about what you do. It's not for the rest of the world. Isn't it like you're selling a product and you know you're helping out your community?
Well, I'm helping my
That's
community.
what's amazing.
A lot of it, though, nowadays with these online auctions, you know, we're selling stuff in different countries now.
Oh,
so,
are you?
So it is helping out people from Canada.
You guys are international.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot, of course, but I mean, there are people from Canada that's bought things from us offline, you know, different.
Oh, especially with COVID.
Yeah.
Y'all made that transition?
Right now, it's blowing up with COVID. I mean, it's
Shit, y'all need videos more than ever.
Yes, it's people are buying online. They're bored. I mean, they're sitting home bored.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a few auctions, live auctions. We've maintained the social distancing. You know, everybody had to wear masks. Everybody stands 6 foot apart. You know, we have had a few live auctions like that, but the online auctions are.
But that wouldn't be as fun. The online auction, you don't get to interact.
No, you don't. It's more of
It's just
what
paying
it
bills
is. It's just like a YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, not YouTube, but an eBay type
Yeah, yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's just, you know,
Yeah,
put it on there.
no emotional connection
I
to that.
can't talk and tell them how good a piece of property is. I just,
Yeah.
you know, that's what I like more about it.
Well, meeting people. So that's what I think I miss more than anything is meeting Dr. Thomas Thompson, the 90-something-year-old doctor.
What's his name? Dr. Ken. Was it Ken?
Thompson. Remember
Ken
the
Thompson?
property out? Oh, I don't know his first name. I just knew him as Dr. Thompson.
Oh,
He was an orthopedic orthopedic
And he was 90 in better shape than probably me and you.
in his 90s.
Yeah, 93.
God.
Oh, that
what-
was at Sparta. At Sparta.
What an amazing
off the Calcula
guy.
River. The Calcula River.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what an amazing guy.
He really was.
I fell in love with that guy.
Yeah, he was
I,
like-
I had intentions on hanging out with him. You were lucky enough to hang out.
A little.
After.
A little. We came up. I think we had a drink or two one night.
Yeah, well, so his wife also just as amazing, and so I finished so I made a video for him, and finished, and we just connected. But he's one of those guys that just connect with. Actually, he told me that I reminded him of his childhood best friend,
Right.
and for whatever reason, I guess just my personality. But we hit it off, and I'm seeing this guy in his 90s run, like just not walking, not hobbling along, like moving fast, 3-4 miles an hour. And I'm like, shit, what is your secret? And he said, I don't know if he said anything about exercise, but he said a tall glass of whiskey every night.
I remember you telling me he said that. He
I was
said,
like,
"Drink some whiskey." About this
Yeah,
tall
because
every
that's
night."
what we did. He had whiskey.
Yeah.
We just sat there and started drinking.
We started laughing. I guess I'll live forever.
Yeah, so I thought, well, shit, I can justify I think I took it to a whole nother level, you know. But I was like, honey, yeah, he said I can drink every day. But
He's a doctor.
just an amazing dude. He'd pick up this aluminum boat with a motor and just
Drink
pick it
right
up
in.
and go. And it was unbelievable.
It was. He really
Golly,
was.
what an
He
inspiration.
really, to me, when you told him it was 90, I couldn't really believe it. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought it was 65, 70.
Well, and that's how that happened with you. The first deal they had made just didn't work out.
Right.
And I was like, look, you got to meet this guy, Brad Muse. I mean, he'll take it to another level. And boy, we did. We
Yep.
went down there, and it was a really inspirational. That really wasn't like anything what else ever we tried to show what the property could be used for.
Right.
So that was really cool. That's one of the favorite, and I don't have that anymore. I think that's why I look at you doing the same thing. I mean, you've been grinding, and then you didn't start off easy. You was you can tell me how you got into it too, but you just keep going. And I was like, dang, what have I done wrong? I got the coolest job on the planet, and here I am, you know, not excited about it anymore. And I know it's because of the choices that I've made, which were financial choices. But the best part was when I wasn't making any money.
Yeah.
You know, that was my favorite part. But here you are getting rich. No, I'm joking. Yeah. We always joke about that. Here you are, just keep hustling along. And I guess it's because all the interactions you have with people, and You're just always dealing with new people.
It's new.
You're always
people.
helping people.
It's new people. It's different day. It's different properties. I stay excited.
You don't get burnt out.
I'm excited.
You don't ever get burnt out.
Never. I'm as excited today as I was 5-6 years ago.
That's rich.
I mean,
that's as rich as you can ever
I
get.
can't wait to get up and go.
That's as rich as you
look
can
another
get.
auction. You know, I've got 2 to look at tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, so it's. But no, I stay excited. You know, I want to do some more videos because I actually did like when we were shooting all our videos so much. It's kind of nice. If I walk into the bank or the grocery store, somebody would say, "Hey, what about this video?" And they'd try to give me ideas. You should do this. You should do that. You know, sometimes we'd say that, but it was always. But people are asking me about videos. I mean, I've been asked for 2 years now. When are you guys going to do another video? When are you guys going to do another video? So.
Well, one thing I want to talk about is okay, so that's why I started the podcast. I needed something. I needed some kind of interaction, and it's just for fun.
Right.
But if I keep it up, I know it'll turn into something. I don't want to ruin this thing too. But I was thinking, man, somebody like you would be perfect at this. I mean, look, both of us just talk for fun.
Right.
That's just what we like to do is bullshit. And, man, some of them stories you got. And I don't know if you're even willing to tell some, but, boy, I realized I ain't telling enough stories on this damn thing. I'm always too serious. And, man, you've told me some stories that just really cracked me up. But I was thinking just you. I think real estate, with what you do, you can help a lot of people get into it. Or at least the ones that's already in it, you can help them be successful. I don't know if it's something you'd be interested in, but I think ultimately just getting on there and bullshitting and interacting with other realtors. I don't know if it's something you'd be interested in. You don't have to have all this equipment either. You just need a damn microphone. Good to go, and somebody to interview or bullshit with.
Right.
But if you ever was interested in it, I'd love to talk to you about it.
Well, we might do it. My daughter's actually doing a podcast tonight. I didn't know she even. I guess all the younger generation.
Really?
They more about. I don't know what it's about. It's a school project. It's a podcast for a school project.
I think it's the future.
And yes, I mean, they seem to know all about it. And,
I mean, I had all this equipment. I mean, I couldn't tell you how much money. I'd hate to tell you how much money is being used to film this, but it was sitting on the shelf. I wasn't using it, so I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna record this. And anyways. I like the way it looks, and I like the way it sounds.
No, it looks good.
Well, thank you. I'm still trying to figure it out. I really don't know what it wants to be. I just wanted to... I had like 5 or 6 people in mind. You was one of them. And we kind of talked a little while back, but I didn't know what it could be, what it wanted to be. And it was really all about just learning about myself. I tell you what, this is what I've learned. It's already helped me. There's something about... they say communication's the most important thing in life. Or you know what I mean, for relationship wise, and we think we know how to communicate, but ultimately we're not very good at it, especially when there's emotions involved.
Yeah.
So me getting to listen back to the podcast to kind of break it down, I was looking for little clips to make videos out of. I realized how I tend to overtalk, and that's what we all do. We all have an idea and we're waiting to get it out.
Right.
And so, man, I'm already becoming better just by hearing how shitty I am at actually communicating. I'm good at talking, but I'm bad at communicating because I get an idea and I think, oh God, I got to say it.
Right.
If it's good enough, it'll come back to you.
Right.
Know? So I'm learning by watching this back when I cringe, like, you have to talk over everybody. But the truth is we all do it.
That's one of those deals where what's those saying, you were born with 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to do a little more listening.
That's true. Well, I think you're doing the conversation a anyways, you know, a disservice. But you let somebody articulate their thought, and if I interrupt you, then you know I may have just ruined your whole thought process. Anyways, it's like just let them tell their story, and then you'll get your turn. So. It's hard to do. Right. I can tell you that. So anyways, the podcast alone, if all I ever got out of it was, I think I'm going to be a better communicator, shit, I've done pretty damn good.
Yes, sir.
But there's a lot of benefits. I don't know. I just want to, like I said, I don't know what it wants to be, but I'm just having fun with my friends on it because we're everyday people. I see people like these big podcasters. They have some big names on, but I can't relate to a lot of these people. Right. I think I relate to people like you and me, and so I think that's kind of the point of it. And I just needed something. I don't know if it's creative, but it's something different than just making videos for
I think it's super creative. I'm really enjoying it. I mean, I can't wait to do it again already. We're not even through with this one. So
well, I'm going to try to start making them a little bit shorter because I get a lot of feedback. Very little criticism, a lot of feedback. Yeah, I need to come up with some more topics. Anyways, I think I just want to share all the secrets to life. That's the secret, you know, right. and everybody's just working a 9 to 5, and I'm like, dude, you can do so freaking much.
Right.
And
especially for faith, that's what scares everybody.
Fuck yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah, that's
holy shit, man, it's terrifying. Yeah. But there's always the side hustle, and then just let that outgrow the main hustle. But I think for me, more than anything with you, was just how in the hell you stay so dadgum happy. And I know we all have our bad days, but shit, man, you got a great marriage.
I just know,
Like,
yeah,
super
I do.
supportive.
I do have a great marriage. I do.
It really
My
is
wife,
good.
Becky helps me. I mean, I do have a great marriage. That's one thing.
She's a huge support.
Yeah.
So she really trusts you, and you trust her.
Oh, yeah.
And I've interacted with you guys a lot. And I've seen arguments. Shit, we all argue.
Oh, yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's just based on a whole lot of respect.
Yeah, we've been married 20 years next April, I think. Is what it
Yeah.
was. So
Was it always so good?
it has been.
Yeah.
Kinda-
Because you went. I mean, there was a lot of times you
We've
struggled.
had some
Like,
bad times. I mean, I guess that's kind of what keeps me so motivated and excited about going to work. Because boy, Nathan, I can remember back in 2009 and 10. When
yeah, I kind of want to talk about that. How you even got into this?
Yeah, let's take a little break and we'll talk about it.
All right, be right back. We took a break.
We took a little break. We're back to kind of where it started for me.
Let's go into that. Do you want to go into that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's why you asked me how I stay so upbeat and motivated and
Yeah.
ready to go, man. I could just, because, boy, I remember the times that 2009, 2010, I mean, it was like, man, what am I going to do? Of course, my wife was a general contractor at the time. I was just selling real estate. And, you know, it went to bottom, rock bottom. It went from way up here to bam, just like overnight. Like, wow, what's going on? There's nobody lending money. The banks have dried up. You know, it was scary. You know, it was scary as hell. And
For the young people, it's after the recession, right? 2008 recession.
yeah,
That's why.
So, but that recession was for me a lot longer than 2008.
Yeah.
That recession was like 2012 to 2008 to 2000.
You had just built the house you got, right?
About a few years back. But that recession for me was from 2008 to about 2014. I don't know about anybody else, but it lasted a really while for me. It wasn't a 1 year recession by no means in my business, and you know, kind of what I created. And that's kind of what, you know, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I really didn't. And Becky kept saying, you know, Betsy Maples, that's who I work for and still work for. And that's, she kept calling me about coming over and helping her with her auctions and doing stuff. And I kept kind of putting her off. I was like, yeah, no thanks, but no thanks. You know, I'm going to move on to, I guess, greener pastures. And she kept calling. And finally, Becky said, you better call Betsy. You need a job, big boy. So I called Betsy, and she started talking to me about the auction business. And I didn't know it really. I mean, I've been to several auctions, loved them growing up as a kid. You know, didn't really think about the auction business. It was kind of, I said, you know, I told her really right up front. I said, I don't have the money to go to auction school. I mean, and you know, luckily she agreed to. She said, well, I'll pay for it. She said, I think you'll be good. I think you'll be great. And she said, I'll pay for it. You pay me back after you get rolling in this business. I'm like, well, if you're satisfied with that, I'll take you up on it. And of course, I just still thought that, you know, yeah, an auctioneer. I still think it's funny I'm an auctioneer. Yeah. Really, you know, it's funny that after all these years of doing it, I still think it's funny that I'm an auctioneer because I never would have dreamed I'd been an auctioneer. You know, that was first in my mind. But you know, so she sent me to auctioneer school. I got out. I met a guy named Kenny Lewis. Kenny Lewis, man, he was I don't thank Kenny Lewis enough. I'd call him about once a month to thank him. He came into class. We were up at Nashville Auction School, which is ironically in Tullahoma, called Nashville Auction School. Whatever. Whatever. So I remember seeing Kenny walk in that day. Little bitty man. He was from Elizabethtown, Kentucky.
Another place.
And he was a little bitty, maybe 5'2" maybe. Had a little briefcase and a little button-up shirt. And I thought, and I had to sit there for 12 hours. And I thought, oh my God, this is going to be the longest 12 hours of my life. This guy, what's he going to tell me? Mm-hmm. You know, that's what I had problems with that in my life. I didn't learn to listen. That's what we were talking about. But he taught me more about auction business and how to pick up auctions and what to do in those 12 hours. I'll tell you, I mean, I credit, this is no shit, I credit 75% of how I do in the auction business right now to Kenny Lewis. He taught me what to say, how to talk, who to go talk to, how to get with attorneys that they can feed you auctions. And man, I listened to him every word he said that day, and I took it in. And I left that auction. I mean, when I left that class, he was one of our last teachers of the whole.
Was he just good speaker?
He was just smart. I mean,
it just made sense. It
he
just
made
clicked
smart,
with you.
and he talked to.
He convinced you.
He convinced me that I could do this.
Yeah.
And man, I went straight out as soon as I got out of class. He was one of the last teachers. It was the session. The whole class was about to be over, and shoot, I ran to the first auction to the first attorney I knew in town. I went running there and said, "Hey, Brad Muse, I have my auction license now, and I'd like to book some of your auctions. They said, well, no, we use Comus Montgomery. I said, okay, thank you. And I turned around and left. And that's pretty much summed it up. I knew one attorney. I went and told him, and he said, no, I know, we use Comus.
Yeah.
Well, long story short, about a week later, he comes back and says, Brad, you know what? I do have an auction for you. He said, I have a single wide trailer in Laverne. We'd like to have around $15,000 for it. I said, hey, it's an auction, buddy. 10%, do the math. $1,500 I didn't have yesterday. You know, so I raced down there. I get it all set up. We have the auction. It brings $35,000. He's impressed. His attorney with him, she's impressed. Joe Atwood, she's impressed. And the next auction I get's a $600,000 farm. So it just led into without knowing a snowball effect of just different properties over the years.
How long do you think that took between the time of you getting your license to that first auction? You said a week? A couple weeks.
It was actually, I came out of the gate.
This is where times were hard. Nobody was selling houses.
Right, and I came out of the gate, thank God, thank whoever you want to thank, on fire. I didn't have time to wait. I mean, it was so bad. It was so bad at my house. One of the reasons, let me back up a few steps, I was going to get my auction license because, hell, if somebody's going to auction my house, I wanted it to be me. You know, hell, I wanted a commission for it. I thought the bank wanted it more than I did, so I thought, shit, if they're going to make me auction it, well, hell, I'll auction this. And I'll pay my own self a commission.
Well,
So that's what it was. My life was like that for 3 or 4 years until I really got into this auction business and got to, like I said, it just started out very small, but I really, not to toot my own horn, I ran out of the gate. I couldn't fail.
Yeah.
I couldn't fail. I had my wife, Becky. I had my 2 daughters, Caroline and Sophie. The failure was not going to be an option for me. So, I knew I didn't have time to wait because in law auction school, they'll say, well, guys, it could be a year, 2 years before you actually do any business. You also, you apprentice for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And that kind of freaked me out. But then I found out that you can be paid as an apprentice. When they told me 2 years apprentice, I was like, shit, I don't have time to wait 2 years. I have 2 weeks. I got to pay some bills.
Well,
and I hit the ground running. And I mean, I was not going to be told no in this business. And I never. As a matter of fact, the Wendell down there, the guy who runs the auction school, couldn't believe. I mean, everybody down there is scratching their damn heads. I mean, I've been in auction school 6 months. I got 11 auctions.
Yeah.
And really a straight rookie about this. But.
Well, I think it's, you had an advantage. You're going broke. I always say rock bottom's a good place to build.
That's right.
And that's why it's easy for me. Like, if I went broke, I always joke around like, damn, all I need to do is go broke and I'd be on fire. Right. I'd be happy as shit because I'd have something to grow from. It's when times are easy. How do you stay motivated during that? It's really easy to be motivated when you're hungry.
It is. But I don't have any problem with that, thinking back to when times wasn't easy.
Yeah.
So that keeps me motivated.
Oh, that helps.
It keeps me motivated when I think, man, do I really want to fool with this, or I don't want to do that? And I think, man, there was a time when you wanted to have enough money to pay your water bill.
That's a good way to look at it.
$35 a month don't sound like a lot of money if you don't got it.
No, and I think you have an advantage. I mean, I think I have a disadvantage that, not that I'm good, I'm pretty damn lucky. Like, I love when the pressure's on. That's when I do best. But I've never been a victim of the recession. At the recession, hell, I never even noticed it.
Right.
I was in maintenance. I was making good money. Didn't have any effect on me. Had I been doing this, had I been self-employed, I don't know. Yeah. It's because you were self-employed as a real estate agent.
And she was a contractor. See, so she was building houses, and I was selling that. So I mean, it wasn't like we quit our job or got lazy. Our jobs pretty much quit us.
Well, it was the greatest thing could ever happen.
Right.
Even though it was
in some sense,
4 or 5 years of, I mean, it's
but
what
they were
keeps
fun
you
4
going.
or 5 years, though. You know what? I don't regret those 4 or 5 years right there.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't. We stayed. That's it. That recession. It cost a lot of people their marriages. Mm-hmm. It cost a lot of people relationships. It cost a lot of people a lot of things besides money.
Their life.
Their life. Besides money. But I think it kind of brought us closer together. I mean, it didn't. We didn't, as long as we had each other, we wasn't really worried about the money. We've been broke before. That's what I told somebody the other day. I'm not worried about going broke again. Hell, it's the part of having money I can't get used to. You know what I mean? Hell, being broke's normal to me. So it's not it's the part of having a little bit. That's kind of the toughest thing. Then you run into, now you owe Uncle Sam a big bunch of money.
Yeah, that's hard for me to get used to.
The next thing you know, it's hard to keep money when, the more you make, the more he hands his. Uncle Sam wants a part of the action too, and it's. Yeah. So, but I'll never bitch about it. But it's that's just part of. I think having money is a lot harder. Than
Yeah,
than not
I agree.
Having.
I agree
promise you,
100%.
A lot harder.
Yeah, the happiest I ever was when I didn't have none.
Yeah, sure. And
it
we
really was.
Becky and I were young back then. We were happy.
And I think it's important that I would anybody listening if you're in a position you ain't got nothing,
Right.
you know what I mean. It's hard to imagine that.
you ain't got far to fall.
Yeah, I grew up in a trailer park.
Right.
You know, Dakota's. How was it? Your first house was a trailer, wasn't it? Do you remember that, Dakota? Yeah. We had a trailer park, and I lived in a trailer.
Right.
And that's where I started, and I always thought it was important. Like I always thought, I didn't have to. I was making pretty good money. I was building log houses. I owned the damn trailer park.
Right.
And but I just never felt being self-employed scared me so much to think about going and making a big bank commitment. I didn't mind doing it for a business, but then buying a house, I was just nervous. I was young too. I was only early 20s.
Right.
But yeah, I always thought it was my rite of passage to grow up poor.
Right.
And I feel bad for all the kids that live in this neighborhood. Like I think, damn. They're screwed, man.
Right. They don't have a clue about being
No,
poor.
like God, I feel so blessed.
Right.
Times are different now. It's so different. I mean, but I with my boys, I try not to give them anything, even for Christmas. I mean, I ain't even bought one thing yet for Christmas. What is it? Y'all probably got your whole. We ain't got a Christmas tree.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My house. Are you kidding me? We started Christmas the day of. Now she won't do it before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
She absolutely has a problem with that.
Well, you have a very festive wife. I mean, this is
I
means a
mean,
lot to her.
yeah, she
And
loves,
plus, you have girls.
She loves every holiday. I mean, she's a holiday person. She decorates for every holiday there is. She decorates for Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day. I mean, we have stuff in the girls, and they enjoy it. Now they're getting older, they still enjoy it. We just put our tree up because they have to have I get a huge not a live tree, but it's a Fraser fir.
And they're painted too, aren't
10
they?
foot tall. I get it heavy flocked, a bunch of color lights. And
Nobody know what that means.
Right.
Heavy flock. What's that mean?
Heavy flock means
See, that's
it looks
why I
like
say,
it
man.
snowed on it. It looks like it snowed.
That's rich people talk.
But why I get that tree is as a kid, when I was growing up, my grandfather had a farm out in Bell Buckle, and he was built cows, a farmer, and he always would go chop a big cedar tree down. Chopped his own Christmas tree, and he loved the flock, and he'd go to Sears or wherever you went and bought.
That was the thing you could do back
and
then.
you could spray your own.
Oh.
You spray. It came in a can, an aerosol can, and he'd just buy 10 cans to spray the hell of this big old cedar tree full of ticks and mosquitoes, and he'd wrap it with these big ass lights that would probably burn the house down at any time from the 50s.
Yeah.
And he'd wrap shit around it. But I always thought it was magical, that tree being big, just white with colored lights. Now we call it the bank tree in our den that kind of looks like you see in a bank. It's a formal looking tree, a fake formal looking tree with the silver and the bows and stuff. But I always like, for the kids' sake, and my kids love it, in our living room by our fireplace is a big, giant, gaudy looking tree. Now, it's not a cedar. I do spend a little more money than a cedar tree these days. But it reminds me back to when I was a kid, when I see this big old, just Goliath. I think my tree's like 11 or 12 foot tall.
Yeah.
I have to pay them extra to put it in the booth. They have to do it like outside the booth. I think they say 9 foot, so they'll let you do. And they tell me that every year. I go down there and I have to explain to them, no, I get this every year. And finally the manager comes out and says, no, we do his tree every year. He comes down here and
Well, what do they do with the trees that are too tall? They got to do something with them.
No, they just cut them down to size. They cut them down to 9 foot.
Oh,
I don't want
okay.
them cut mine. I want mine to be at least 10 to 12 foot tall.
Yeah.
And
Well, you got the ceilings.
and I have the ceiling. And that ceiling there is probably 18 foot. And
I think, that's same in here. I think our tree is like 13 feet tall, but it cost me $200 at Walmart. It was like a 13-foot tree, but it fit that spot. I was like, I looked at trees; there were thousands of dollars, and I was like, screw that. And I found it at Walmart for like $250.
Yeah, I spend. My kids would rather me cut back a little bit on their presents, as they would cut back on the tree. And that's serious.
That's important.
I'm not joking when I say that. They love that tree so much. If I didn't have the money to buy them anything, they would say, Dad, put the tree up and don't buy us anything, because they love it. I think it's going to go on. I feel sorry for whoever they married if he's to buy a $1,000 tree every year. It's going to cost them $1,000 a year. Their husbands better have good jobs.
Yeah, you created some high standards.
Yeah, I've created some high standards for their next.
Them boys ain't got a chance.
Them future husbands.
You set the bar high.
Yeah, they better have a good job.
And I don't have girls, but the way it is little girls. Well, I have sisters that look up to me, and I feel bad for my sister's husband, because my sister's always comparing Well, my brother, I'm like, shut up.
quit
Let
saying
that
that.
man be your husband, you
Right,
know?
right.
And he's a really good dude. But I thought, it's just the way it is. You know, girls look up to their fathers, I guess older brothers. And
Sure.
yeah, I got all boys, so I don't have to deal with none of that. And that's why our Christmas tree ain't up. Ain't none of them interested in going up in the attic
Getting it
and
down.
dragging that 300-pound thing down. It's like, it's more of a chore.
Yeah.
It is. It's more of a chore for us. But if I had daughters, maybe it'd be a different story.
Yeah, they keep. I don't get a choice with this. This is one of those
Yeah.
deals where, I
do good when I don't
literally-
have a
literally
choice.
the day after Thanksgiving, I mean, we need to get the stuff. We need to get the stuff out of the attic. Get the stuff out of the attic. We got to get stuff out of the attic.
Well, your wife,
Yeah,
she's a motivator.
Yeah.
My wife is not like that.
She
My
keeps
wife
me
is,
motivated.
well, if you want to do it, you'll do it. Like,
Yeah.
she
I don't get that
she-
option.
She don't. I told her, I said, I need you to kind of like. I was talking to her today. I was like, I didn't tell her. I was like, I need you to be a boss in my life. I need somebody to tell me what to do and when to do it. And she's like, I don't think that'd go over well. I was like, well, I do pretty good with structure. And anyways, she's just not that kind of person. She's like, well, if he wants to do it, he'll do it. She don't bother me. I seem like I got it made. I wish my wife was a little harder on me.
I think Becky, my wife, she knows when when she can and when she
Yeah.
can't. I can't really say anything about the Christmas decorations type thing
Yeah.
because my daughters, of course, they're my babies. So if they want it, that's what I'm going to do. But we have a good balance of it. It's not. I don't make her sound.
You
strict.
really do. You
And
really
she's
do.
not really that strict. She don't. She don't.
I was just going to say, from my experience, I've seen you guys interact, and you'll do what you're doing, and you can be heavily intoxicated, and there's so much respect. It just blows me away. You don't really get mad. You're like, all right, well, anyways, I'm not trying to air out your laundry or anything, but I've always respected how you guys interact, even when there's an argument, and it was over something dumb more than anything.
yeah.
You know what I mean? No grudges ever. It's like, all right, well, that's done. Moving on.
Yeah,
So,
we have a 24-hour rule. We never stay mad over 24 hours. Period.
that's good. How did you implement that? Like, what is the secret to that? You got to tell me, because me and Rebecca was talking about it the other night. Like, we don't have a 24-hour rule.
Right.
My buddy Garrett, they got the same thing. They never go to bed mad. And not that we go to bed mad. We don't really fight.
Right.
We're just like, well, I just distance myself. And she distanced. Well, okay. We don't really argue and yell at each other, but we just kind of get quiet and separate and do our own thing. And it's respectful. Right. It's always respectful, but then we kind of hold that position, until one of us finally just gets tired of that and we give in. We say, all right, look, we got to talk.
Get over that scrap.
Yeah, I told Rebecca the other day. I had to call her up and I was like, hey, we need to start practicing our communication a little bit better. Maybe we need that rule, a hardcore rule. We're either going to work this out. I don't know. A 24-hour rule. Do you really stick with it?
We do. I mean, it's
incredible. Get a little closer. I think you're getting a little far away. You ain't got too close.
We do. I mean, the whole don't go to bed thing mad sounds great and all, but
Yeah.
I mean, we have gone to bed mad time or two. That's for sure. But no, we usually can hash out anything that we have out in the 24 hours. I mean, we never have. I guess I'm fortunate. We've never had anything that's been so bad or so lingering that it needed more than 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing that needed even more than 24 hours because it was either something dumb that I said because I'm good at saying dumb things at the wrong time.
Yeah.
So mostly it's, look, I'm a dumbass. Sorry. It's mostly that because, I mean, it's never, I've just been fortunate. We've never had anything, really a true argument that deserved a lot of attention, really. I mean, stupid shit.
It always is stupid.
Right.
I think the only time it ever gets really bad is when you don't address it and you leave it unresolved and they stack. Right. Little bitty problems. You may have said the wrong thing that hurt her feelings or she hurt you and you didn't address it. You didn't correct it. And it just stacks to the point that people go out and just do all kinds of crazy. They burn the whole damn house down.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That happens.
Those are people that don't resolve things. That's how it gets that far.
Right.
So it's, marriage takes a lot of effort. Communicating.
It's a job. I mean, you got to want to work. I mean, you have to want to work.
Well, I'm dying to get Rebecca on one night, and she won't come on. But I was telling her, I was like, I get really excited. Every time I learn, I'm like, I've learned that I'm not too good at communicating. Like, I talk a lot. Right. She's like, you know what I mean? It's so obvious to her. And I was like, I'm getting better. And she's like, oh, I wish you'd practice that with me. It's hard, man, you know? Right. It really is hard. It's simple. But simple don't mean easy.
No, sure doesn't.
Golly.
Sure doesn't.
So listen, I don't know if I wanted to go into the whole conversation about how we met, but I was thinking about it today, because we ain't seen each other in a while.
No, we
Shit's
haven't.
been a
It's been too
year.
long. It's almost been a year almost.
Yeah, I've just had my head down, man. I got into Jeeps and, and that's kind of been my life. I go from, that's the funny thing. And that's how we met. On the river.
Yes.
What an important part of my life,
Me
that
too.
damn river. And I've kind of neglected it because I know every damn inch of it.
Right.
But you got a good group that you go with.
Yeah, we now this year.
But I want to go back into how we
This
how
year
we
we
met.
didn't go as much, but that's where we met. Me and you met.
Shit, I don't even know.
2012 was the first time I went down with Jimmy Smith.
Did you ever? Yeah. So 2012 is the day, well, whatever day it was when we met.
It was like sometime in 2012, like June or July.
Shit, was it even?
Maybe
So my wife and I, we had a canoe. So me and my kids started in that river in a flat bottom.
I think y'all still had the flat bottom the day I met you guys.
You did?
I think
Okay, I'll
you
get
had,
into
you
that.
had. I think you had the canoe and the flat bottom.
No, you had a flat bottom.
No,
didn't.
I know. I know my dumb ass.
We'll get
did.
into.
Yeah.
So I started with my boys
Maybe you
on
guys
that
had a
river.
canoe.
We'd take that flat bottom, we'd either put in and drop down, and that's how I used to float that rivers in a flat bottom. And then nobody was on the river back then, like it was empty. Duck River, by the way, Normandy, Tennessee.
Yep.
So then we upgraded to a canoe. My wife and I was canoeing it, and the water was low, so we go by cubic feet per second.
Mm-hmm.
So an average is 100 cubic feet per second is good. 300 is good. Any much more than that, it can get dangerous.
Really dangerous. Really, really dangerous.
So we were doing it. It was like 30 or 40 or 50. Like, it was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And the channels got down to just super narrow. And the spot that I ain't even going to talk about spots. It doesn't matter. But there was a spot that a tree was. Anyway, I thought, I think I can make it through there, and I didn't. The boat got pinned, flipped, lost everything, all the tackle. The trees flipped and pinned underneath. I'm sorry, the boat's pinned underneath the tree, and I'm thinking I can get this boat out. Water is strong, and it was a spot in the river that you would never see, but it was so low that the channel was just deep. I'd say 4 feet deep. And I'm trying to get this boat out, and I'm a little bit nervous. I'm thinking, how do I walk from here? So I'm wiggling and I'm pushing, and I lift as hard as I can, and I feel my back pop.
I remember you saying that.
And I thought I broke my back. I ended up getting the boat out, just using my feet, just wiggling. I was scared to death. Had to float the whole river. I got out, didn't break my back. I broke my back muscle. I broke something in my back. It took a long time for it to heal.
Right.
So we got into canoes. I'm sorry, not canoes. We got into kayaks. Right. My wife and I had, I think, matching kayaks. I ended up upgrading, getting the bigger boat. Yeah. But so that's how we met. We're kayaking, my wife and I, nobody on the river, and we bump into you, your wife, and Jeremy Smith. Jeremy Smith is in a kayak, and you're in a flat bottom.
Exactly. That was.
You was in a 10-foot flat bottom that was decked out.
Oh, I've spent a lot of money decking that boat out. I was not going to have a kayak. I was convinced kayaks were not for me. I would never be in a kayak, and if you saw me in a kayak, it wouldn't be me. So I thought they were. I thought they were gay.
Gay. There you go. And nobody on here is going to be offended by that.
I thought they were gay.
We're in the South. We can get away with that.
Okay, well, I said I'd never have one. But then
the whole time you were talking shit about my kayak, you was pelling water out of yours. I'll never forget that. It's a bucket. You're over there talking shit about my kayak, pelling water out of your boat.
I remember Rebecca asked me too, well, are you some kind of frog gigger or something like that? I'll never forget Rebecca's first comments to me were like, are you some kind of frog gigger or something like that? I'm like, no, I'm just out here on this flat bottom boat. I'm not in one of these kayaks that I'll never be in. And then,
well, if anybody could have sold a sinking flat bottom, it was you that could have sold it.
I mean, but I was sweating profusely. Yeah. The second time I went, I couldn't get stopped. I was coming in hot.
Yeah,
I couldn't
coming in
get
hot.
Stopped.
That's where
coming
it
in
came
hot.
from.
We said coming in hot. Couldn't get stopped. I'm sweating. I'm seeing these kayaks going up and down the river all around me, and
I'll let you try my boat that first day.
I got to be the pack mules. Here's what broke the camel's back with the flat bottom.
I was wondering what switched you. I thought it may have been because you used my boat.
No,
because you was like, I'm gonna go buy two of them.
No, I probably did, but here's what switched me. There was one day we were out there, and of course the man with the flat bottom got to carry the coolers at the time, so I became a pack mule.
Yeah.
Now the last straw was there was a little girl in my kayak. She was probably about 3, and I had no idea whose kid she was. I'm like, shit, I've got 3 coolers and a kid.
And a flat bottom.
And a flat bottom and a kid that I have no idea whose kid it is.
And a 10-foot black. That's a small boat.
Yeah. And I have no idea whose kid this is. Yeah. And I have 3 coolers, 3 big, huge igloo coolers, and somebody's 3-year-old. I'm saying, hell with this shit, man. I'm going to buy a kayak. I can't take it anymore. Yeah. So I said, matter of fact, that afternoon, Jeremy called me and said that some guy had a native kayak, which I didn't know anything about at the time. But he was over in the Evergreen Farms, little subdivision here in town, and Went and got anything he wanted. Like I did what everybody else did. I went and bought the $150 canoe, $100 kayaks at first, and realized, oh hell, the seat sucks. You can't get, Then so I gave $700, I think, for this kayak.
Yeah.
And it had the seat. And matter of fact, I still have. I've not the same. Well, I still have the same one, and I've just bought them 2 more since. But
I don't want to tell what you got in your barn. Between your friends and you've got
I've got a shit pot. I've got a shit pot of kayaks. That's for sure. I can start my own rental
It was bad because I was even putting them in your garage.
Right. Well,
Your
they're
barn
not
for a
all
while.
mine, of course. I
No.
have several buddies.
But you got people in the good boats. These are Jacksons. They're all Jacksons,
are
natives.
Yeah. They're.
You went wild with it.
Oh,
I did too. I got 5 kayaks hanging from the ceiling of my garage. And I do miss it, man. There was a lot of good days on the river.
Oh man, I can't tell you how many times I've had such.
You've introduced it to a lot of people. Too.
A lot of people.
It's life changing, wouldn't you say?
It changed my life.
It did.
Yeah, I grew a beard. I mean, I don't know why I did, but I grew a beard when I started going to the river. I mean, it did change my life. I didn't get to go as much this year as I have in past years. The weather was spring, but I can't wait to go back, and I'm still passionate for it. I mean, I didn't go as much this year, but I can't wait.
Places.
I can't wait to April. I'm not even sure if I need new. I mean, I do need to go new places, but I don't know. I just love it. It's not even about the river or the place. It's just a peace of mind I get when I'm on that damn river. Even though I've been down it, like you said, me and you know every inch of it.
Yep.
I've been down it. It's still a different river to me. A lot of times, every time I go down there and I see something different, but I can exhale 30 minutes from my driveway, and I can be right back home. If I want to have a cocktail or two out there, I don't have to worry about driving across hell and half of Georgia. I'm all back roads pretty much to my house.
I think the benefit to doing another river, and there's some great ones out there.
Oh, I know.
None of them are as good as the section we float.
Right.
And the Duck's the longest river in Tennessee.
Yeah.
But the section we float, and it's already overcrowded, so I don't want to shout it out. There's nothing like it.
Right.
It's perfect.
That's
And
perfect.
I'm telling you, I've been on. Everybody
been
says,
all of
"Oh,
them.
this is the greatest river," this and that, and I've had fun on all of them. None of them compared to the Duck.
Right. That's.
And so I appreciate it more.
Yeah, that's why I go. But it's a place where I go. It's kind of like going to church for me. I'm not a big church going person by any means, but it kind of is it's a spiritual feeling up there a little bit for me.
Yeah.
I get up there and I can breathe. I know it. I know the water levels. I know I know when I have to respect it. I know when I don't have to respect it.
Oh, well, you've had some experiences on
A
the
bad
high water.
experience. Yeah, so I know about everybody should know about. This is what we should put on the podcast. Everybody should know about the TVA Lake app.
Yeah.
They can put that on their phone and they can tell if it's over 350. Don't go.
Yeah, don't take your kids.
Don't take your kids.
Especially inexperienced people. So you guys had a very close call, and I think y'all went. Like, I didn't go. I think y'all were messaging, and I was like, no, I'm not going. And I think, did I not ever tell y'all about the app? Or, you know what I mean? Y'all didn't know it.
I didn't know about the app, but I didn't know
But I knew the water over 300. I didn't take my
dangerous.
kids.
And I didn't realize that.
I knew it can be dangerous if a tree falls.
I got in a very, very dangerous spot. I got there not knowing about the app at the time. I had a big group with me, a big group.
Yeah, kids.
My kids.
First time going on the river.
Yeah,
don't know nothing.
Nothing. I mean, Caroline was like maybe 10. Sophie was 5 or 6. So Sophie was sitting on the front of my kayak.
Yeah.
And, man, we got out there, and by the time I got past the first bend, right past where we put in, I knew I'd made a mistake. Yeah. And I couldn't get stopped fast enough. And Caroline, she ended up flipping out the boat. I actually threw Sophie with one arm up on the shore. Yeah. And I told them to stay right there. I finally got everybody. One of our little girls was on the other side of the river. We had to get her back across the river. I finally got everybody in one spot. Yeah. And I said, nobody's getting back out on the river again. This is the scariest damn thing I've ever been through in my life. So what was lucky is me and another guy finished the river on down to where we get out. Got out, got our trucks, and where I had parked the...
Wasn't that Jeremy? Jeremy,
no,
you and Jeremy?
I think that was... Jeremy was with us, but I think me and Jarrett Smotherman had done that.
Okay.
But anyway, we went out, and where we take out, luckily, I told the family and the other friends to stay right here. And you know what was funny is we got our trailer and went back through these fields, and it was all cattle gaps. We never had to open up a fence. How lucky would that be?
That's crazy.
We drove straight back to the river and picked them up. They didn't have to get back in the river, and it was... But it was like, I figured out at the time it was like 890 that day.
Yeah. And I've done it. I've done it that high, but
right.
I have whitewater boats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, we had picnic boats.
12 foot long. These things are made for a lake.
These are made for a lake and just cruising. That was a scary day. That was one of the places.
I think your daughters refused to go for a long time, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, Caroline, as far as she's concerned, you could drain it back in them days. She'd make a parking lot and put a mall there if she could. But Sophie always like, she was so young, I don't think she ever realized the kids were both of them, because Caroline at the end of the day said the spider scared her in the kayak more than the flipping and stuff. So I don't think they really got the gist of just how scary a position we were in.
Yeah. Well, the last experience I had with it, I wasn't even here. I went out of town, and Brennan, my middle son, was staying with some friends of ours that haven't had very much experience on the river. Brennan is a master. My kids are.
Yes, I've seen it.
I've look, my Dakota here, I've had, what do you think? Maybe $40,000 worth of camera equipment in a canoe.
Yeah.
And I'm filming on the river, and Dakota's got the whole thing. You know what I mean? So I have a lot of trust. They grew up on the river.
Yeah. They were babies. I mean, when I met them, they were small children.
Yeah, so they're very experienced. But so Brennan went with some friends of ours, and they had very little experience. They had been with us once that I know of. But yeah, they go on a day, and I felt so bad because I didn't think about checking the water. I just think that everybody checks it now. And the girl, there was a daughter that was there. She was 15 years old, and she got pinned. There was a tree down. The day that a little 15-year-old girl died in that same spot, apparently. I hear these stories, of this little girl screaming, pinned, help me. And Brennan bails out. They tell me Brennan was a little hero. Made me feel I could just cry thinking about him jumping out, trying to save us, just abandoning all this. They lost all their paddles, seats. They barely made it out of there, but man, it's a dangerous thing.
It's a dangerous thing.
It's a wonderful thing.
It's a wonderful thing, but it's dangerous. People will think they go buy kayaks, and they just think, okay, I can just go put them in the water anyway. You have to pay attention to what water you're putting in and how swift it is. You can't just get in any body of water and go down it and thinking, hey, I'm gonna be fine. Because I was up there about the same time that little girl died this year. I think we were up there fishing back in the spring, and I saw some cars parked at the bridge, and I thought, you really don't know what you're in right now. It was up over 1,000, like 1,400, 1,500. And I saw some cars parked. Obviously, we're kayaking. I'm thinking, you guys better be professional whitewater kayakers, or you better hold your ass on because you're getting ready to go for a ride.
They don't understand the trees fall on that river all the time. So one thing that we used to love doing, and then we always monitored the water. We always made sure it was low, but we did night floats.
Right.
We would pick a night called the Blue Moon. Have you ever done that?
No, but I've heard you talk about it forever.
Oh, my God. Okay, I'd be interested in doing it. So the blue moon's once a year, and it's just a really bright moon, and we would dress up, and everybody would get those, would it be glow sticks?
Yes, I've seen it. I've seen pictures you showed me.
Yeah. So we'd get these glow sticks and dress up, and I would put like a black light in the boat, and I was dressed up as Tonto one time, and my buddy was the Lone Ranger. Anyways, it was a blast, but it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Because trees fall all the time. You never know when. You never know when you're going to coast into a tree. Right. So I would suggest doing it with no alcohol. Right. Well, the way we did it was no lights. You're not allowed to bring a light.
That way you kind of adjust to it.
Yeah, your eyes will adjust and you can see like daylight. Mm-hmm. But the first one we ever did, I would say over 100 people showed up.
Wow.
And I thought it was going to be 15. It was chaos. But the second one was a lot better. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. But I'm thinking now, one reason that I'm not an unhappy guy.
Right.
I'm a really happy guy. I'm just super stressed out.
Right.
But I think it's because I'm not doing all the things. I used to be a backpacker. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would hike hundreds of miles and kayak. I always had something in my life, and now it's all like money, business, work. And I think that's the only thing I think there's an imbalance in my life, which is fun. Right. I'm missing all the fun stuff. I'm missing hanging out with people. Jeeps. That's been a huge benefit to me. But that's you need more. You need more.
Right.
Those weekends going out with your buddies. I miss it.
Yeah. No, that river we've had loads of fun up there over the years. It's had a really good time.
How long have we been going?
Hour and 10.
Hour and 10? I've been trying to think about keeping these things a little bit shorter and doing more of them.
I'm good whenever you are.
Well, I mean, we can wrap it up. Man, there's a story I kind of wanted you to tell.
I'm not telling that story.
It's such a good story.
You're going to get me here a little earlier next time.
Until next time.
Until next time.
We'll get you back on.
Yeah, you need to get me a little
greatest